The very next thing we're gonna move into is some body weight exercises, and we're gonna do some ab work, we're gonna do some arms, and we're also gonna cover some legs. So the very first thing we're gonna do is a plank. And Nikki's gonna kind of show us a regression to the plank that you can start with. She's going down to her elbows. Now, the very important thing, we'll start to the feet and work our way down to the head. She's starting with her feet, shoulder width apart. She's got her hips and knees and shoulders all in line, head as well. Head is nice and relaxed and in line with the rest of her body. She's gonna squeeze those glutes and she's gonna pull that belly button into her spine, making sure that those shoulders are right, that her elbows are right underneath her shoulders. You don't want those elbows too far out in either direction because you put too much strain and stress on the shoulders. And you wanna try to hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds. Now, when you're able to hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, then you're ready to move to a regular standard plank, which is lifting those knees up off the mat. Notice that Nikki is still staying in that straight. Her knees, her hips, her shoulders, everything is all in line. Head is nice and relaxed. Elbows are underneath her shoulders. She's squeezing those glutes and she's pulling that belly button into her spine. And you want to be able to maintain that for 20 to 30 seconds. And that's your standard plank. The very next exercise we're gonna move into is a push-up. We're gonna start to bring the arms a little bit more into play here. So Nikki's gonna do the same thing we kind of just did with the plank. She's gonna get onto her knees. As you can notice, her body here is still all very straight. Fingers spread apart. What happens when you get your fingers too close together is you put a lot of extra pressure on those wrists. So you want to have your fingers nice and spread out. You want to make sure, again, that those hands are underneath your shoulders. And Nikki's going to lower herself down to the mat. Arms are going to come out into a 45-degree angle very slowly, and she's going to bring herself back up. Taking a deep breath before you start this. As you're going down, exhaling all the way through the movement as you push up. Nice and slow and controlled. Now, when you are able to come all the way down in a full range of motion on your knees, then you're ready to progress into a regular push-up, which Nikki is gonna show us now. So now the knees come off, everything else remains the same, body is all still in line. Nikki's taking that big deep breath on her way down, and she's exhaling as she's coming up in a full range of motion, making sure she's squeezing her glutes through the entire movement and keeping that belly button pulled into her spine so she can protect that lower back. Okay, so with these push-ups, you want to begin to do 1 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 push-ups at a time. When you first start, if 5 push-ups is what you can do and keep and maintain that form, then that is a great place to start and build from there. The next body weight exercise that we're gonna do is a squat. Nikki's gonna begin to demonstrate that for me. She's gonna start with her feet shoulder width apart. She's gonna have a slight bend in her knee, belly button pulled into her spine. She's gonna stand nice and tall. Now Nikki is going to begin to sit back as if sitting into a chair, back onto her heels to the point that she should be able to almost wiggle those toes for me, okay? She's gonna be taking a big deep breath as she's going down. Now as she comes back up, she's gonna be exhaling, squeezing her glutes and legs all the way up through the top of this exercise, okay? Do a couple more for me. So she's gonna take that big deep breath in, she's gonna come down into that squat, squeezing all the way back up. So Nikki's gonna turn to the side for me now so you can see. Now, one of the important things I want you to be able to see as Nikki is doing this now from the side is that as she lowers herself back into that sitting position, into the squat, her knees remain behind her toes. You don't want your knees to come out over the top of your toes. And she's back up into that tall standing position, squeezing all the way through the top of that movement. Good job. Now, when it comes to squats, you want to be able to do the same thing. You want to start off with 1 to 3 sets of 8 to 12. If you feel your form going in any way whatsoever, then it's time to take a break and quit with that set for that moment.